Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here for another review. This is Son of Liberty. So today's video, we're going to be taking a closer look at StreamLight's new TLR7 Alpha and its updated light controls. We're here to see if the new paddle system is better than the first one, and we're also here to put it through its paces just as I do with any other product here on the page. So anyway guys, stay tuned. You don't want to miss this one. Let's take a closer look. Alright guys, so to take a closer look here at the TLR7, currently right now I've got this one set up on my Mac Defense 19, coupled with the new HoloSun HE508T. This one is the one with the updated battery box, as well as the updated power controls. So anyway guys, so I've had some opportunity or some time to run not only the first version but now the updated second version, the TLR7 Alpha. Guys, especially if you carry Appendix, it's really would be hard for me to recommend any other weapon light to you. You're going to get 500 lumens, which is a good quality amount. It's going to be in a small, tight package. You're not going to have to. It's not going to be hard for you to find holster options for this one, just because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a huge popular model on the market. All right, and I can tell you that your older version holster, if you have one for the older version, should fit this new one. All right, everybody that I have talked to has been able to confirm that. I have not found a case where that has not been the actual situation. Okay, so if you guys know of one that is not compatible, leave that in the comment section down below, but I've yet to find one. All right, so obviously we're talking about these new updated controls. All right, you can hear they have a very tactile feel to them, okay, or a sound, but they have a very tactile feel. So I know when I depress that, I'm getting a positive feedback into my finger that it is activated. Okay, so obviously you have the visual, which is the light itself, but you get that nice tactile feel. I really like that. Okay, on this side, now this is my actual shooting grip. This is actually how I grip the gun. Okay, thumbs forward. When my finger is not on the trigger, it sits right here on this accelerator cut. Now, in order for me to activate this light on this side as a right-handed shooter, I can literally just flick my finger down in order to activate it or to turn it off. Same thing on this side. All I have to do is drop my thumb down onto the paddle to turn it on or off, or if I have the strobe activated, to turn it on or off. All right, this one does come with the strobe feature. You can turn it on or off. I will do a separate video on how to activate it and deactivate it. But I've got to tell you that so far I've been really happy with the paddles. And obviously this one's going to be very similar to the first version that came with different attachments. Now this one actually comes with two different types of backing. So you get high paddles and low paddles. Let me grab those for you guys real quick. All right guys, so just like the first generation, you got a handful of different adapters so that you can run this on a multitude of different guns. Okay, so you shouldn't have any issues with adapting this to whatever type of firearm that you're going to be running. All right, so we have those. One of the things that I want to talk about though on this these different box. Okay, so what you see here is the second version. Now this is the low paddle version. All right, so the paddle set much lower on the actual platform itself. Okay, I tried this one for a while and I did not like it at all. I had to break my grip slightly in order to activate these, and that's not what I want. I want to be able to have a nice firm control of that firearm as I activate and deactivate this one. Now again, you may have much longer fingers than I do, and this one may work out better for you. All right, but one of the things that I want to caution everyone is that when you open these up, right, so this one has two of these little buttons on the inside of this one, as well as this one. These buttons that I'm referring to is, you guys see those holes? You can see that one down on the bottom right hand corner with the light. Okay, they come with these little button inserts, and they have a little small rubber gasket. You can see how small these things are. They are tiny. Okay, if you lose these, this won't work. All right, so you're going to get a total of four. Two 2 buttons for this one and 2 buttons for the higher version, the high paddle version. All right, these things come out pretty easy, so if you lose these, you won't be able to, obviously if you lose, let's say 3 out of your 4, you're not going to be able to use your light, and you'll have to call StreamLight. So how these work is these little buttons, and you pretty much have to get a set of tweezers to get them into the holes again. But how these actually work is once they sit inside of there, once you depress this paddle, that paddle pushes the button, and the button actually activates the mechanism inside the light housing itself, okay? And that's actually what turns the light on. If you do not have these in there, it won't activate your light. All right, so just something to keep in mind. So when you're pulling this out and trying to figure out which one you like the best, they come out of here pretty easy, and I almost lost one. So just something to keep in mind. All right, guys, so I've done a lot of talking here about the light itself, but how did this actually compare to the first version? You know, how did this thing actually perform at the range at night for its intended purpose? Let's tune into that footage and find out. Hey guys, so if this is the first review that you've actually seen of the StreamLight TLR7 series weapon lights, one thing that I done in my first review for the first edition is I done a comparison between the TLR7 and the Surefire X300. All right, now I compared 500 lumens to 500 lumens. All right. I am not doing a weapon light comparison review. I am only giving you an idea to give you an example of what the TLR7 Alpha light beam at 500 lumens is basically, you know, what it's capable of doing against a Surefire X300 500 lumen model. All right, that's all that this is. All right, so I've got my my handheld here just to get the camera to focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the Surefire X300 500 lumen weapon light first. All right. So now I can turn that one off. This thing, if I don't have a light source, it is obviously very hard for my camera to be able to focus. All right. So again, I have the Surefire X300 model here. All right. Now I'm going to turn on the TLR7 Alpha on the right-hand side. Okay. So again, Surefire X300, TLR7 Alpha. Now, just so that there is no doubt of what I am reviewing, here is the Surefire X300. I've got this on my Glock 34, and here is the TLR7 Alpha. All right. I am not flagging myself. I'm just angling some of the spill light over to so that you guys can actually see that is exactly what we have here. All right. So again, TLR7 Alpha, Surefire X300. Now you can see that there is quite a bit of a noticeable difference between the actual beam itself, the actual hotspot. All right. Now obviously this isn't a scientific comparison, but you know, there is a noticeable difference, but one of the, you know, the biggest differences obviously is going to be the size of these two lights. All right. Obviously for an appendix carry, I prefer a much smaller light. than the Surefire X300. So what we're looking at right now is a berm that is 25 yards away. So what I'm going to do is, obviously because I've got my hands full, I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to move it over a little bit more so that I can show you what the light output of these two lights are at 50 yards. All right, so bear with me for just a second. All right, guys, so obviously my camera, again, is going to have some limitations, especially at night, all right? But what I wanted to show you is the difference between a 25-yard distance and comparing the two lights, and kind of show you the difference in the capabilities of each from 25 versus 50, all right? So give me just a second here. Let me put my my light down here so I can grab the Surefire X300. All right. Now this is again at 50 yards. This is just one of the retaining walls, or the side of the edge of my of our shooting range here. All right. So again, you can see that the Surefire X300 has a really nice hot beam, especially at 50 yards. All right. Now this is the TLR7 Alpha here on the right. Okay, so to kind of describe to you the best of my ability what the camera can't pick up, all right, is I've got a lot more spill with the TLR7 Alpha versus the Surefire X300, okay? The Surefire X300 has a very distinct spill line, okay, on its outside perimeter. That is not as defined with the TLR7 Alpha. You get a lot more of a, instead of a defined, almost kind of like a black and white limitation ring, it's just a much softer area. That's really hard for me to explain, but basically in general terms, the TLR7 Alpha has a lot more of a softer spill area and a much larger spill area, all right? Again, the Surefire X300 dominates at distance, especially with the hot beam. But as you can see here, the TLR7 Alpha, to the naked eye, again, what you guys can't see, I would be completely capable of identifying a threat at this distance. Now, when it comes down to identifying whether the person has a phone, some other type of weapon in the hand, obviously that is going to be really dependent upon the end user's vision capabilities, all right, because everybody's eyesight is different, okay? But again, I'm just giving you a comparison between 25 yards and 50 between the TLR7 Alpha 500 lumens and the Surefire X300 older model 500 lumen weapon light. Hey guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in here for another video review. I know that your time is valuable and I do appreciate that. But that's going to be a wrap here of StreamLight's new TLR7 Alpha weapon light. Guys, if you are considering picking one up, I believe that you guys will be happy that you did if you decide to pull your trigger on one. Even if you have the first version, I believe that the second version you'll be able to see the benefits of it for sure. Guys, and if you are, if you are new here to the channel and you like this video, please consider hitting that like as well as that share button. If you have any comments, leave those down below and I'll get back in touch with you as soon as possible. And if you are not a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button, guys, and turning your bell notification icon on. What that does is going to give you a notification to your email address every time I launch a new video. And I've got some reviews that I'm working on currently right now that I took with Mike Glover of Fieldcraft Survival. And so I think you guys are really going to enjoy that content. I'm really excited for these videos that are going to be up and coming here on the channel. So as always, guys, thank you so much for your continued support here on the channel. And until that next video, guys, take care. Be safe.